last night bears out my theory that glam rock was just invented by short men so that they could wear high shoes.
You could be right.
No, I think it's absolutely true. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, you know Gary Rice, who was here last week?
Yeah.
You know
He's good, isn't he?
he's ever so good. He's
I
not,
liked him.
but don't Ian get sensitive. But you know how like showbiz Gary is?
Yeah.
You know how, like, he's really showbiz? You know what he calls Roy Wood, and probably to his face?
What?
He calls him Woody.
Wow.
He goes, yeah, Woody's great. He calls him, like, Woody without a trace of postmodern irony, because that's, like, his friend.
Cool.
Wow. Oh, to be that cool. You know, if you're sitting at home now
And
and you...
says to him, ask Aisha when liftoff is coming back.
Yeah, he does. Anyway, if you've got a pen at home right next to you, hold it up in front of you. That's how big Richard O'Brien is. I saw Richard O'Brien yesterday. He looks like a ballpoint pen. A lovely, gorgeous ballpoint pen.
Did you put him down your cleavage?
No, I know I did that with your pen earlier, but I'd forgotten it was your pen. And it was
okay.
just somewhere to keep it, because normally if my hair's up, I'll put it in my hair, but I got nowhere to put it. My ears were occupied elsewhere, so I just put it down the front of my vest, and it was only when you said, could I have my pen back, please, that I realised it wasn't actually my pen.
Now, Paul, did he say that, or did he say, can I get your pen back, please?
Can I get my pen back with my teeth? I think I said, actually.
No, Paul. Saucy.
Sorry.
Saucy. What? Anybody?
Like Richard
O'Brien.
O'Brien.
Yeah, you know how like everybody knows Richard O'Brien's an absolute god to me, and I think it's really cool that he never returns or his agent never returns my calls. And
He's just teasing you. He's playing hard to get.
and most of us here, apart from Paul, because he wasn't talented enough, used to work on a Radio 5 programme. We were desperately trying to get Richard O'Brien on it. And we would phone his agent, or fax his agent, like every week practically. And like we'd chase up the fax and say, hello, Mrs. Agent, have you managed to contact Richard O'Brien? She said, yes, we sent him your fax. He ignored it. And we go,
I think it was the bit that said, dear Mr. O'Brien, would you like to come on our show? Nicholas Parsons was on it.
Well, we're looking for celebrities to fill our new strand, Slapheads Unite.
oh, he's so great there, but he looks like a pencil.
What, do you send him an abusive fax?
I suppose so.
Yeah, Baldy, are you coming on the show or what?
No, you can't say that. But even Victor Lewis Smith sent us a nice fax back.
Saying no.
He said no, but
it
in a
was
really
nice.
nice way. But he just ignored them. I thought, that's so cool. You could just imagine Richard O'Brien doing that. But he looks like a pen, and he's as big as a pen. He's a tiny little dot of a love.
size.
Is he a bald point?
But he's a little tiny dot of a lovely man, though. And he's great. I really like him. We're not worthy. And I also saw somebody else who's incredibly naff. Oh, I saw Joshua Rosenberg, the BBC's legal correspondent, in his car. Wow. Anyway, Paul, what kind of a week have you had? Yeah,
Did you do
that.
the pelvic thrust?
No, why would I?
That's just one of those things from Richard O'Brien's past that he
Oh,
might
right.
be amused by.
Oh, yeah, let's do... He got loads
He
of...
might not be amused by it, though.
He got loads and loads and loads of Harrods and Harvey Nicks carrier bags.
I remember once I used to run this club that was very, very close to Central Television.
Oh, I know. I used to go
And,
there.
We saw that woman off Heidi High,
Yeah.
Sue Pollard,
Yeah.
and shouted Heidi High to her, and surprisingly enough, she didn't respond with Hody Ho.
Paul, that was remarkably witty of you. She was probably so floored by your devastating wit.
That's right.
That she didn't...
Well, we could have shouted much worse things, like Specky, like over here.
Anyway, Force, what kind of a week
Roger
have you
Cook
had?
passed the ball to me as well once outside Central Television.
He did what?
He passed the ball to
Why
me.
were you playing footy outside Central Television?
I was bored.
Oh, right, okay. Anyway, what kind of a week have you had?
I was trying to bounce it off the people who were queuing to see Bullseye.
Good one.
But there you go. Not much of a week, really. I keep I'm not getting very much sleep because I keep getting these weird calls. I pick up the phone and there's nobody there. Deep breathing and stuff. You know, I think it's
Freaky,
Kylie. Because she often calls.
How's that freaky?
Or perhaps it wasn't catnip. I mean, you do live in Notting Hill and it is the carnival
No,
after all.
it was from Harrods.
You did mention that earlier on, and you said to me, I'll get you some next time I'm in there, because I'm in there all the time. Like I'm supposed to be impressed by that or
There must have
something.
been ripped
It's only
jeans in
tourists go to Harrods.
I know, it is actually a horrible place to go. It's so huge and it's just packed full of tourists. But there was a brilliant story Lisa just alluded to in one of the papers today, which was that a woman was in Harrods wearing some stylishly ripped jeans, and underneath the rip was a Liberty print. They were designer jeans. And she went into Harrods and they said, "Sorry, madam, you may not come any further. You must leave our store dressed like that." And she said, "But I bought them here." And she'd actually with a Harrods charge card, and they wouldn't let her in. So I don't think a shop like that deserves our patronage unless it's to get catnip for puscats.
Didn't they turn Jason Donovan away for the...
They turned Jason Donovan away for wearing shorts. They turned Melissa Bell, who played Lucy in Neighbours, away for wearing a cropped top.
They just do it to be snoot, don't they, really?
They do, but the thing is, if you look like you got tons of dosh, I bet they'd let you in.
How do you look like you've got tons of dosh?
Sorry?
How do you look like you've got tons of dosh?
I don't know.
And roll up at the front door at a Rolls Royce or something.
I tell you,
Fivers hanging out of every pocket.
I have never seen so many very young people, like teenagers, so not much younger than me, obviously, driving around Knightsbridge in chauffeur-driven cars. It was sickening. Anyway, what kind of a week have you had again? Anybody who's seen Bernard Wright on would know, and he might be listening because he's up there in Manchester. Anybody who's seen Bernard Wright on, he looks about 50. I mean, John, if you're listening, you don't look about 50, of course.
Which was at Très Amusant. An Englishman, Irishman, and a Scotsman in a pub. What a fine example of an integrated society.
Oh, that old one.
That old one. Our dog got sick during the week because he said that he rather liked the new Arsenal away strip.
So you like your dog still with us then?
Yeah.
Pity.
I also noticed that today is the feast day of St. Alexander of Byzantium, which would explain all the spontaneous street parties between here and home. And yesterday I went to Greenbelt, which is a Christian festival which they held every year in one of England's most boring counties.
Which one?
Northamptonshire.
They don't. Can they hear us? It's not. Is it in the Midlands?
It's sort of Midlands-ish. Yeah.
Well, we don't. It doesn't count as far as we're concerned.
They can catch us on the lower edges of CWR, I suspect.
We love you. Go on, carry on.
Still a dull county, though.
Is it?
Enlivened only by the fact that Anju Misra lives there. But Greenbelt is very nice because it was full of all these rather too many beards for my liking at Greenbelt because it's a Christian festival. And as I parked up to watch my bird delivering an address there, I thought,
yes,
well, I put on...
I live at... Sorry.
I thought, well, I put on the security device.
Sorry, Mr. Funny.
Then I thought, no, I won't put on my security device because they're all Christians here. Now, if it was a Catholic festival, I'd surround it with pit bull terriers. So I went on and she did her address and she was very good.
Oh, brilliant.
Had a postcode and everything.
That was my joke. I made it first. That was why you scowled at me.
I improved on it.
Yes, she did. Yes, but you'd scripted yours. I hadn't.
I hadn't?
Yes, you had.
Show me the script.
You script it in your little head, though, your little noggin. Was Samantha Fox there? Did you see her with her spanners?
Yeah, but I mistook her for two hillocks.
Is it a hillocky county?
Vaguely hillocky, yeah.
Sort of like a trussock.
Yeah.
Which like tufts of grass. See, the word trussock does exist.
Sorry, if you're listening on medium wave, those words were all in fact very nice. They weren't naughty words at all.
No, trussock, I said. My week wasn't very interesting, apart from the fact that last night Mike and I telephoned America and booked tickets to see the Bare Naked Ladies, and it was like it's sort of got a bit complicated because the really, really nice, helpful person, you know how the Americans really like the English, and they're incredibly polite anyway, and very helpful.
Or they get shot.
No, that's not it. They come from, unlike this country, and this is one of Gary Rice's big bugbears, unlike this country where service isn't automatically on the top of people's lists, people who provide services. In America, people recognise that if you give a good service, then you're reimbursed, which is why, waitresses and things rely on their tips and not on their salaries. And she said, but this one was really, really nice. I booked the tickets and everything, and she was really, really helpful. And until she said to me, it's a 2-drink minimum.
Pardon?
And I was thinking, a 2-drink, and I was like whirring over in my head what 2-drink minimum meant. And I was thinking, does that mean you can only have like a maximum of 2 drinks before you go into the theatre and they like breathalyse you? Or does that mean you can only take 2 cans in with you? what does it mean? And I had to say to her, there's like 5 minutes of silence when I was trying to work out what she said, and I said, pardon? And she said, it's a 2-drink minimum. So it's 5 minutes of silence again. And I said,
Hello, I'm English. Could you please explain?
I said, yeah. I said, I'm English. Could you please explain? She said, oh, well, when you come and sit at our tables, you have to order a minimum of 2 drinks. I said, you don't charge $100 for a drink, do you? Because I thought it might be one of these places. You hear about strange bars in
Soho.
In Soho, in strange areas of town where they charge you hundreds of millions of pounds for a drink. Ugh. Anyway, so that didn't happen, but it was very exciting. We're going to go and see the Nakes in America.
So you're all right with a bottle of Bud? They're not going to force you to have the best champagne?
No, I don't think so. And she sounded like a very nice and wholesome person. Hello, Ventura. We'll be with you soon. Anyway, now it's time for... Naomi Campbell's released a single.
Oh, what?
Now, I heard about this yesterday. Apparently the video was on the chart show yesterday. Apparently it's very good.
No.
It's called Love and Lies, isn't it, Paul? Is that right? And it's Naomi Campbell's new single. And it's supposed to be very good. Judge for yourselves. I haven't heard it yet. It looked very professional. I think that's really, really dull. She has got a rather nice voice, though, but I think that's as dull as ditch water. What do you think, Paul? Like your opinion counts. Joke. Love you. Joke.
So she yawn at my week. Then you say, oh, I didn't have enough talent to be on Radio 5, which is kind of a contradiction in terms.
Ooh, catty!
And now my opinion doesn't matter anymore. I thought it was boring as hell.
Yeah, it's really dull. She's got quite a nice voice, hasn't she, really?
She seemed to have quite a nice voice.
The thing is, you can make anybody sound like they've got a nice voice, apart from Jason Donovan.
We are getting to that stage now where every pop star has to be incredibly good looking, so it's no surprise that models are making records.
Oh dear. But of course she specialised in singing at her drama school,
Of
so
course
it's
she
not
did,
like
of
it's not like
course.
she's jumping on a bandwagon or anything.
Not
That was a
much.
drama school. Oh, so we're going to see her in a Ruth Rendell at some point in the future as well.
Gosh, I hope not. Ugh, don't like her much. Now it's time for this week's results of last week's competition. Oh, fabulous response. Talking of Jason Donovan, I asked you who Kyle's went out with, which one of her Neighbours co-stars she went out with. It was, of course, Jace, and the winner is Kevin Small from Blockswitch. Well done to you, Kevin.
Was that difficult or something?
I don't know, maybe there's something good on telly.
That's very peculiar.
Anyway, now it's time for this week's competition, which is a little bit more difficult. Who was, or is, we're not sure, Naomi Campbell engaged to? She's still engaged to him, Paul. Do you know this?
I think she is, yeah.
Yeah, who is Naomi Campbell engaged to? Who is Naomi Campbell going to marry when hell freezes over? I mean, one day, soon, I'm sure. Who is Naomi Campbell engaged to? If you think you know, you'd like to win yourself a goodie bag. Did
you make that up?
It's still in the process of making it up, actually, Lisa.
Sorry, I'll shut up.
Thank you. A goodie bag, an SSNP goodie bag. You won't get it for several months, and nothing like the word oranges does months rhyme with. Thank you.
I thought it was going well up until the end.
I thought the end was like the twist, because it moved from one subject to another.
I'm not bright enough to understand.
No, you see, music criticism,
No.
not your forte.
Not really.
Films, that's what you're good at. I'd stick to it, Lisa. Anyway, who is Naomi Campbell engaged? If you think you know you'd like to win yourself a goodie bag, please give us a call on 021 if you're outside Birmingham, 432 2000. And you can also call with dedications and jokes, of course. Hello to Jenny and Lucy. Anthony, I'm having a great time from your loving sister Amy in Plymouth. Big aerial, Amy. You can hear us in Northampton, says Paul. Or we can hear you in Northampton, says Paul Bunyard in Northampton.
Oh, lovely.
Can you
Doesn't actually make any attempt to deny my basic thesis about that wonderful county.
You know how very rare it is that we get a funny joke that we can read out on this
Yes.
programme? We've got a funny joke that we can read out, and also topical, given last night's ATV night. It's from Elaine Taylor in Warsaw, and it goes, how do frogs die?
We
don't know. How do frogs die?
They Kermit suicide.
Oh.
Very good.
Anyway, if you'd like to enter the competition, which is who is Naomi Campbell married to, that competition question's got... No, engaged to. He's a musician. There's a clue for you. He's a musician. What does he play? Does he play bass or something?
I think he's
Paul?
bass, yeah.
If you think you'd like to win yourself a goodie bag, give us a call on 021 if you're outside Birmingham, 432 2000. Now it's time for Joe Jackson, who we haven't heard on this show for quite some time, actually, and he's breaking us into